All right, this is a serious segment, okay? Or at least it's going to start serious because we are, of course, beginning on a fairly sad topic. It is, of course, a school shooting, the Oxford High School shooting, to be more specific, and that is, of course, a very tragic event. But I'm not going to be so much talking about the school shooting itself and the details around that event, more so about the coverage of that event, because I saw some clips of it on Twitter last night, and it just blew me away at how many bad media takes and just weird decisions in coverage that have been made around this story have been. It's really, really weird. You guys will see for yourselves soon. Just stick around and watch, and you guys will know exactly what I'm talking about. So, CNN. School district releases details of key events leading up to Michigan shooting. Days after a 15-year-old student allegedly killed 4 classmates at a Michigan high school, the district's superintendent has requested an independent investigation into the incident, the deadliest school shooting at a U.S. K-12 campus since May 2018. Ethan Crumbley is accused of carrying out Tuesday's shooting at Oxford High School in suburban Detroit and faces a slew of charges as an adult, including terrorism and first-degree murder, among others. His lawyers entered a not guilty plea during his arraignment Wednesday. His parents, James and Jennifer Crumbley, were also each charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter in connection with their son's alleged action. The shooting claimed the lives of Madison Baldwin, 17, Tate Myers, 16, Hannah St. Juliana, 14, and Justin Schilling, 17, authorities said. On Sunday, Tim Thorne, who heads the Oxford Community Schools District, detailed in a letter the school's account of several key events leading up to the shooting. It's critically important to the victims, our staff, and our entire community that a full and transparent accounting be made. To that end, I've asked for a third-party investigation be conducted so we leave no stone unturned, including any and all interaction the student had with staff and students, Throne wrote in the letter addressed to the Oxford community. The day before the shooting. On Monday, a teacher saw the suspect looking at photos of ammunition on his cell phone during class, which prompted a meeting with a counselor and another staff member. During that discussion, the student told them that he and his mother had recently gone to a shooting range and that shooting sports are a family hobby, Throne wrote in the letter. The school tried to reach the student's mother that day, but didn't hear back until the following day when his parents confirmed the student's story, Thorne said. After school officials reached out to Jennifer Crumbley regarding her son searching the web for ammunition, she texted him saying, "Lol, I'm not mad at you. You have to learn not to get caught," prosecutors have said. Whew! The morning of the shooting. Then on Tuesday, the day of the shooting, a teacher alerted school counselors and the dean of students to concerning drawings and written statements of the student had created, according to the letter. He was immediately removed from the classroom and taken to a guidance counselor's office, Throne explains. The student told a school counselor that the drawing was part of a video game he was designing and informed counselors that he planned to pursue video game design as a career, Throne said. Video game design? Hey, chat, are you guys starting to feel a little nostalgic? I'm talking 2008, 2007 nostalgia. I'm talking old school, like OG fighting against like boomers against violent video games days of the internet. Are you guys starting to feel it again? Because you guys should start to feel it pretty fucking hard, because it's going to get even crazier as we go along, because the coverage of the story is leaning really hard back into the classic violent video games are making our kids into school shooters. We're going right back in, guys. We're going right back to it. The Jack Thompson days are coming back, guys. I'm telling you. A Democrat is the president. There's no reason to blame it on far-right extremism anymore. It doesn't get the clicks it used to. Now they're going to start using video games again, Democrat and Republican alike. Following that discussion, the student stayed in the office for an hour and a half as school staff called his parents and waited for them to arrive to the school. The letter noted. While waiting, the student said he was concerned about missing his homework assignments and requested his science homework, which he then worked on while in the office, the letter said. At no time did counselors believe the student might harm others based on his behavior, responses, and demeanor, which appeared calm, Throne said. Upon the parents' arrival, the school counselors asked the student specific probing questions about his potential for self-harm or harm towards others, Throne said. The answers he provided led counselors to again conclude he did not intend to committing either self-harm or harming to others, according to the letter. School counselors told the parents they must seek counseling for their son within 48 hours. Otherwise, the school would contact Child Protective Services, Throne wrote. When asked to take their child home for the rest of the day, Throne said the student's parents flatly refused, leaving their son behind to return to work. And because the student had no prior disciplinary actions on his record, school counselors decided to allow him to return to his class, rather than send him to what they thought would be an empty home, Throne explained. While we understand this decision has caused anger, confusion, and prompted understandable questioning, the counselors made a judgment based on their professional training and clinical experience and did not have all the facts we now know, he said. Throne noted the decision to send the student back to class was not shared with the principal or assistant principal. And that was the moment that caused it. Right then and there, if the parents had come and picked up their kid, a school shooting could have been prevented that day. But they didn't. And I think you guys, for those of you guys that have a brain, I think you guys are probably starting to figure out what the deal is here. Karen McDonald, the Oakland County prosecutor who is leading the case, has said Crumbley allegedly had the gun used in the shooting in his backpack during the meeting with school officials and his parents. In his letter, Throne said he does not know whether or not the gun was in the student's backpack, as it has not been confirmed by law enforcement to our knowledge, nor by our investigation at this time. The alleged shooter started firing a gun during passing time between classes with hundreds of students when hundreds of students were in the hallway transitioning from one classroom to the other on Tuesday, Throne said. Before the shooter was able to walk a short distance to enter the main hallway, students and staff had already entered classrooms, locked doors, erected makeshift barricades, and locked down or fled according to their training, Throne explained. The suspect was not able to gain access to a single classroom. An initial review of videos of the shooting shows that staff and students' response to the shooter was efficient, exemplary, and definitively prevented further deaths and injuries, Throne said. Well, that's good to hear. Parents pled not guilty to the charges related to the school shooting, of course, and that's the end of the article. We don't need to really read about that. Actually, we are going to read about it because I think it's important. Parents pled not guilty to charges related to school shooting. Crumbley and his parents spent Saturday night in the same Oakland County jail, but were kept separated. James and Jennifer Crumbley pleaded not guilty to the involuntary manslaughter charges during an arraignment Saturday morning. The court appearance came after authorities had spent hours searching for them, a manhunt that began when they failed to show up to a scheduled arraignment Friday. Police said the couple was found in a Detroit warehouse early Saturday morning, but their attorneys said they intended to turn themselves in. During the parents' arraignment, prosecutors alleged they allowed their son free access to the gun used in the shooting, but one of the parents' attorneys, Shannon Smith, said the gun was locked. When the prosecution is stating that this child had free access to a gun, that is absolutely not true, Smith said. This court is going to see there is far more going on than what the court has been made aware of. Prosecutors have said James Crumbley bought the gun his son allegedly used in the shooting, a 9mm Sig Sauer SP 2022 semi-automatic pistol. My lips are so dry I can't even talk because my lips keep getting stuck together on every word. Just got my new beauty today. Big SAR 9mm with hard eyes emoji, McDonald said. Jennifer Crumbley also posted about the gun on social media, calling it his new Christmas present, McDonald continued. An Oakland County judge set bonds for James and Jennifer Crumbley at $500,000 each. Damn, $1 million to get them out of prison. As you can see, I'm just going to go ahead and I think when we consider the fact that this kid grew up in Detroit, and his parents looked like this, and he had ready access to guns, and also had violent ideations. I think it's pretty obvious what motivated this shooting. But of course, you have to understand, guys, we're literally going back in time. The whole political discourse is actually resetting as we speak, and we're going back in time and looping. It's like a loop over and over and over again, the same shit over and over. So let's go ahead and take a look at this little bit of coverage from this story and just revel in the times that we're living in.
One post from Ethan Crumbley declares, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. See you tomorrow, Oxford." The quotation can be found in a gory video game.
I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Oh, God. Yeah, so... Yeah. So... Yeah. We're really going back in time to the old days, huh? Oh, and of course, Rising really having a normal one as well. This video is I don't know what the fuck happened to Rising. I thought it was dog shit when it was Crystal Ball and Sagar and Jetty, but I don't know who the fuck they got replaced with, but they're somehow even worse. And this clip, I shit you not, is going to blow you away. So, in case you guys haven't noticed, a 15-year-old white person, Kim Iverson. Kim Iverson. She sounds familiar. Kim Iverson? Where have I heard that name before? What? I think I remember hearing Kim Iverson's a dumb fuck. Oh, I know who Kim Iverson is. She's the dumb fuck that I think. God, this would have been like right around the time I moved into this apartment, over a year ago now. She was the one who didn't she debate? Yeah, she debated Destiny. I remember. I listened to her debate with Destiny while I was putting together my my desk that I'm literally streaming with right now in this room. It was around the time I first moved in here. God, jeez. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, she's a real big dumb fuck, like class reductionist. Basically, like I wouldn't be surprised. She's just a full-on Nazgul. Like she's probably just a Nazi, but yeah. Anyway, she's on Rising now, and we all know how Rising can be. So basically, a lot of the coverage of the Oxford shooting has shown pictures of the shooter from like his old YouTube videos where he was like a little kid who was like 11 or 12. Like they're showing a lot of pictures of him from when he was like a cute little kid because he looks like a deranged little murderer in his mugshot. So that's what they've been using a lot. And obviously this isn't something that happens when like a black kid gets arrested or whatever for committing a crime. In that case, it's always the mugshot in the photo. And this isn't obviously like only like a little white kid could get this type of treatment from the media. And I don't think you got
bad financial decisions ahoy. Anyways, oil or something. 69 funny number. Sonic the Hedgehog is the channel mascot something or other.
Thank you, Sagittarius. That's so kind of you. Thank you so goddamn much. That is so fucking generous. I really, really appreciate that. We'll get to reading that right after the segment. Thank you. Yeah, you are not going to believe how this Rising clip, or how Kim Iverson in this Rising clip manages to twist this. It is going to blow your mind. It is going to be the most unintuitive shit you've ever seen.
Look at the photos of Ethan Crumbley people on social media and some media outlets are using. He's now 15, and yet they chose this angelic-looking photo from about when he was 10. What is the purpose of this when there are several other photos, like his mugshot, that could have been shown instead? This same sort of tactic is used in reverse against black perpetrators and even victims. Rather than use their school photo of them smiling and looking like good kids, they use the meanest-looking, most aggressive photo they can find on social media to portray them as villains. They attempt to portray them as people who either obviously would commit the heinous crime they did or victims who deserved it. They do this to placate a certain bias and mindset that the audience already holds, and the same looks to be happening in this case. Showing Crumbley as this innocent-looking angelic white kid is intended to stoke fear and support a narrative that white people, no matter how nice they look, are domestic terrorists who we should all be afraid of.
Like, listen, guys, I'm not saying that I'm in favor of eugenics, okay? I'm not saying that I'm a eugenics supporter now. What I am saying is that perhaps you have to be born a certain level of deficient in order to be able to say all the things that she just said and then still say the last thing she said. It's like the wallet, it's like the Patrick and Rayman wallet meme, only it's her with herself in her own head, and she's both Rayman and Patrick. Wait, we actually have a Rayman emote now? Are you fucking shitting me? That's dope. Yeah, this is your wallet, yeah. Literally in her own head with herself is the argument that's gone back and forth there. It is so bizarre to me that someone can be exposed to all the information that she just listed and then to come to the conclusion that she did. There must be, like, listen, all right, eugenics might be the only option, all right? I'm just saying. My mind is significantly more open to it now than it was before. But only for conservatives, okay? Conservatives are banned from having sex ever, unless it's with me and their MILFs, like MTG. But yeah, pretty insane coverage of this story. The fact that they attributed that quote to Fallout New Vegas, absolutely just tickles me pink. I love that. That I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. I love it. Do you guys think we're actually going to get sent back in time, basically full loop back to when, like, the whole moral panic was over video games? Again, like, violent video games are the new moral panic. Can we go back to that? Because I would love for it to just be almost entirely gaming-centric political discourse all the time. I would feel so in my element if it was nothing but gaming-related political discourse. Oh, it'd be amazing. I hope something about Hytale pisses off reactionaries so that I get an excuse to do a political segment involving Hytale.